Okay. Yay, good evening, everyone. Happy Tuesday. Welcome to Dreamstruck. We were not here last week. As a matter of fact, Emily was in Disney World with her family. And what were the rest of us doing? Something happened last week. Why we were not on. We had a bye week last week. Oh, it was the end of month live. Yeah, I was like, what happened last week? All the days are blending. But the end of the month live, they kind of did a little trickery. Instead of it being at 7 p.m. Central, or here in the States, it was broadcasted from the United Kingdom, which was so amazing. And it was earlier in the day. So I hope that you guys had a nice break last Tuesday. I think most of us ended the well as best as we could last month, and June is off to a really amazing start with all of the promos that are happening. And before we get into tonight's topic, because I'm so excited about it and ready to take notes, I really want to reiterate to take full advantage of the promotions that Scentsy is offering right now. Emily, do you mind sharing, or I'm sorry, Kelly, I know that she's with us for a little bit here. Do you mind sharing a couple of the promotions that are happening right now?
Sure. We have the $25 joint special, which I've been promoting with the warmer because it's kind of a win-win. But then I don't want to vomit all over my people. But then as soon as they bite on that, you can tell them about the free shooting star kit, which is valued at over $300. Some people say $300, but I added it all up myself. It is over $300 and it's free. So what better thing? Plus, the thing they don't touch on is it's $125 in commission as well. Well, it's a little bit under 125 because it's only 20% commission, but they're also getting paid off of that $500 when they hit it in their first 15 days. So that also gets them off to an amazing start. They're almost to their 5% raise, a promotion, a new title, a charm bracelet, all the things. And then what else do we got going on? We got Bring Back My Bar. We got all the Scentsy Club things. And let me just tell you about that darn whiff box. I've been promoting the heck out of the whiff box because that's a nice way to get them into Scentsy Club. Once you can get them into Scentsy Club, it's like game over. That's a little bit more things that you don't have to follow up with. I mean, you follow up with in a different way. I like to do this. The sun is killing me. I like to do little special packets for my Scentsy Club members once they're in there. So today I did one. I had a bunch of samples and I did a training in my team on this. So if you guys have a bunch of samples that you have left, or let's talk about showcase brochures, product flyer sheets, catalogs, them are only going to be good like another month, guys. So you're going to want to get rid of them. Put them into envelopes, put any of your old samples in there because it's going to be a brand new season and you don't want old samples weighing you down. They're just sitting there. And I call it a Scentsy fruit salad. I heard this lingo somewhere along the line. So I threw all these random samples. It didn't matter if they were washer whiffs, they were fragrance mists, they were room spray. I threw anything that I could find and get my little hands on into this bag, you know, the 6x9 mailers that we got for like $2.50 because they were on sale not that long ago. Threw them all in there with my showcase brochure. I got rid of those. My product flyer sheets, catalogs. I don't want to hang on to anything because I don't know about you guys, but I always end up with extra at the end of the season and then I feel guilty. Like they're sitting there and I don't want to throw them away. I don't want to put a sticker on it talking about old and new and all this stuff because that's more problems than it's worth sometimes. But I don't want to throw them away either. So right now is the best time. If you have anything, any paper material, get them ready. Just put them in things and then start advertising them and use them for prizes. Use them for whatever you can because right now they're not making you any money just sitting there doing nothing. So what other sales we got going on right now? Bring Back My Bar, that whiff box. Oh, the warmers. Let's talk about them warmers. You can get 4 select warmers and 5 free bars of wax. That's a $30 savings. So in my Amy system, I have one of 2 messages going right now. It's either the whiff box, and I added a photo into my Amy system that has the price on each item in the whiff box, because I think that's important to show them the actual value of what's in the whiff box, because sure, it looks like over $30, but you know what? They don't really know that it's 64, but because the price is on each item, I think that makes a difference and it's been working really well for me. But maybe I know they're not a whiff box fan. I'm going to go with the 4 warmers. Maybe they haven't purchased in 2 years. I know they need warmer. They need a warmer, and those warmers are really cute. or they need wax. Next week, I'm going to take those same warmers if we have this deal, and you know them succulent warmers, how you can rearrange them into different seasons. I'm going to go find all those pictures and I'm going to start advertising that next week because I feel like I have so many things going on this week with sales and stuff. I don't know about you guys, but that's kind of where I'm at. I'm focusing on one thing a week. Next week, I'm going to switch it up a little bit.
I love that. Thank you, thank you, thank you for giving us that rundown. I thought it was very important just to remind everyone what is right here on front of us. And yes, it is a lot, but it's good. It gives us a nice variety. And you're going to see things on social media in the world of Scentsy where people are like, hey, go ahead and shred your catalogs. Don't do that. You're shredding money. Number one, you bought those. Number two, you're shredding money because the goal is to get those out in hands so people can, you know, sniff a sample and they can browse the catalog and order, right? So by doing that, you're just putting, you know, $5, $10 in the shredder. Don't do that. Go to the Dollar Tree, get your little shreds, but do not shred your catalogs because those are money makers, you guys. It's income producing products. The other thing too that Kelly mentioned was the warmers. I've never seen this in my almost 8 years where you could buy a warmer, get 5 scent bars for free. Scentsy's really throwing us some bones to kind of help with the economy and the inflation. And I don't know about you all, but that promotion is bringing me new customers in my VIP group. Other people that are like, no, I don't want to host a party. Scentsy's too expensive. They're just like, hold up, you know, wait, 5 free bars? Yeah. If you get that gray classic curve warmer, it's valued at what, $30? Those scent bars are valued at $30 as well. So it's like, that is a really impeccable deal. I've gotten so many orders, but hear me, that whiff box and that promotion, we haven't seen things selling out lately. That is so good and it's on fire that I want to encourage you all not to wait, as you know, just to continue to promote it, because when some of them begin to sell out, whether it's the fragrances, whether it's the whiff box, whether it's a warmer, people are going to be sad saying, oh my gosh, I took this money from my customer and I was going to put it in on Friday. Y'all don't wait. Another last thing I'm going to say before we hand this over to Dorothy is all of my customers that order that are out of town, normally I place their orders on the workstation, you know, and I close my parties. I'm not doing that. I'm taking an extra effort to go onto my PWS and I'm putting in their orders individually because they're out of town. So that way they can get the free note and gift from Scentsy. Every PWS order, your personal website, hey Fred, hey Carter, hey Cruz, is going to get a free gift from Scentsy. And if you put it in on your workstation, then it forfeits the free gift. So take care of your customers, go the extra mile. It takes a little bit longer, or you can have them go onto your website and do it themselves. It's a great way to promote parties as well. Every guest, and you can say this, it's not a personal special, every guest that places an order in this party is going to get a free note and a free gift from Scentsy. You don't have to tell them what it is. Let them be surprised. All right. Without further ado, that was a lot of information because we missed last week, you know, kicking off the month with you guys. Dorothy, I want to hand this over to you so you can offer a very warm welcome to our very special guest tonight. We're so excited.
Okay, awesome. Yes, I am excited to have Bridgette Simon. I met her when I first started Scentsy in 2015, and I have seen her business boom. She has now an SSD. This is before we were both SSDs. And so to see her grow and to see the things that she has done through social media has been amazing. And I love all the ideas that she shares. So I'm excited for her to share with all of us tonight. Go ahead, Bridgette.
Hey y'all, so like Dorothy said, my name is Bridgette Simon. I am an SSD in New Braunfels, Texas. It's just north of San Antonio. I joined Scentsy back in 2013, and I like to give a little bit about my story and how Scentsy started so you guys can kind of understand why my passion is with social media. So I moved down to Texas from Ohio originally in May of 2013. And I didn't know anybody. It was my ex-husband that relocated us down here because he had accepted an oil field job. And I was super nervous to leave all my friends and family that were up in Ohio to not just a different city, but an actual different state. So when we got down here, Facebook was like my best friend. And what I did was I had joined a local San Antonio oil field wives group. And I saw that one of the local girls was going to have a Scentsy party. Now, I had been using Scentsy since 2008. I was introduced to it in a home party when I was in active duty in the Army at Fort Gordon. Man, I wish I would have joined Scentsy then back in 08. I can only imagine where my business would be right now if I joined back then. But we had just moved and I was like, oh, a Scentsy party. We just moved. I can definitely use some extra Scentsy. Plus, this will give me a chance to meet some people in person. So why not go ahead and go? So I went to the Scentsy party. Of course, the girl asked if I wanted to host my own party. And I was like, well, I don't really know anybody here, but I can definitely throw an invite to this oil field group, just like that caught my attention for this party. So let's give it a try. Had the party. It was, it was decent. And of course, she asked me that night if I wanted to join, and I was like, you know what, why not? I mean, if anything else, I already spent enough on this that I can at least make my own money back. So I was actually intending to be just a kidnapper. But I'm very goal oriented. And so once I signed on and she told me about Shooting Star, I was like, okay, this is my first challenge. I had nothing else to do. I was full-time online school working on my bachelor's degree, and my husband was gone for long periods of time. And my only child at that time was like naps and stuff like that. So I was like, all right, let's go, let's do this. And I used social media, and I continued to use that oil field group and some of my friends and family up in Ohio, but mainly it was that oil field group that I used, and I was able to achieve Shooting Star. And then I went on to the next goal, which was Sensational Start, and I ended up earning level 3 of Sensational Start. And then that was the fall incentive trip was for the Bahamas. And so I was really still pushing past that to earn this amazing trip that I knew that we never would have taken outside of Scentsy. So that was where my focus was at, because I wanted to travel the world. That was something I always said growing up, was I'm leaving this small town. I'm going to travel the world, all the things. And so was pushing hard for that, was using this oil field group to, go to the lunches and to meet new people in town, but to continue to work my Scentsy business. Throughout that fall time, I finally finished my bachelor's degree, and I actually took on a position at the local correctional facility as a substance abuse counselor. So I kind of started juggling at that point between Scentsy and working a full-time job. But come February, we found out that I was pregnant with my youngest daughter. And obviously, as you can think, being pregnant and working in a correctional facility did not go hand in hand. So I had to put in my resignation. And the idea was that we were going to have me just work Scentsy until I had our youngest daughter. And then by the time I had her, then the plan was to go back to work. But over that time, while I guess maternity leave, you would call it, I continued to work my business. I was like, okay, something was working for me to hit Shooting Star, to hit Sensational Start. And at the end of that 6-month incentive trip, I'd actually earned my first incentive trip to go to the Bahamas, and actually even went to the Bahamas pregnant. And in all the pictures, you can see my little pregnant belly. I was like, okay, so what was it that I was doing? I need to replicate this, but on a bigger scale. And so I was like, okay, it was this oil field group. It was Facebook and me meeting new people on social media without me having to go out. And if you don't know me, I look really sociable and really friendly online, but when I'm in a large group of people that I don't know, I am a hermit crab. I will sit back. I'm a people watcher. I observe and all the things. So social media was my outlet to meet people without having to actually meet people and not be nervous or scared or all the things. So I finally started looking for other oil field groups and local mom groups so that I could join, and continued to not spam about Scentsy, but to get into these groups and make the friendships online. And so that's what I continue to do. November came around and I ended up having our youngest, Trinity. But at that point, back in August, on my 1-year anniversary, or that month that my 1-year anniversary, I ended up promoting to director. So once I had my youngest in November, we were like, you know what, there's really no reason for me to go back to work between, daycare and gas and the time away from home and all the things. It made sense for me to stay at home and continue to just push Scentsy. And that's why social media is such a big thing for me. And that's why I like to share it with my team as well now, to help us grow in the networking. I mean, that's what direct sales is social networking, but without having to actually leave the house. With COVID, the past two and a half years, social selling became really easy. And I feel like this is when my team and myself and my own business really grew, was everybody was locked at home and everybody was on social media. So my team was like, okay, I'm ready to grow. I want to really buckle down and work my business, but how do I grow on social media without knowing everybody? And what I like to recommend to my team, and even myself, I do this every, 6 months or whatever, is I really focus on what my brand is. And I encourage my team to figure out what's your brand going to be. And so I post either on my VIP group or I post on my social media, and I'm like, when you think of me, what comes to mind that's not Scentsy? And you're going to get a variety of different answers and stuff like that. But the focus, the main ones for me, when I post it, I get Disney because I have the Disney princesses on my arm. I get leopard. They know that I'm an Army veteran. They know that I like to work out, all the things. But the main things was Disney. So for my branding, I'm now branding with Scent Princess. It's on the back of my car. I have a little neon light right here that my husband had made for me. So that's what really sticks, because now the fact that I've used that as my branding, I have friends and customers that when they're scrolling, just randomly scrolling, and they see something Disney princess wise, they're tagging me in it because they see it on my catalogs. They see it on my social media. And what I love about that is not only are they thinking of me when they see something Disney princess, but also when they think of me now, it's Scent Princess. So they see the scent part of it, and they're reminded again that I'm a Scentsy consultant. And that's where the branding comes in. So once you figure out what you want your branding to be, what do you want to be known for? What are you going to focus on for your branding? Whether it's, I have some team members that are, foster dogs, or chefs or teachers or whatever it is. Then I tell my team to go find 1 to 2 groups. And I say just start at 1 to 2 because I don't want you to get overwhelmed, but go seek 1 to 2 groups that align with what your branding is. For mine, it was Disney. Another one is cooking. I also drive a Jeep. I have Great Danes. I join these groups. And when I'm joining these groups, I become a valuable member of these groups. That's, again, I'm not going in there and I'm not on their business day posting about Scentsy. I'm going in there and I try to at least make 1 original post a week. And daily, I try to go in there and comment or respond to at least 5 different people's posts. And the reason why I like to do that is because I want my name to be repetitive. I want to start interacting with the same people over and over. Now, I know that like some of the Disney groups, they get to be like in the thousands or whatever. So I try to find groups that are like under like 5,000 people, because I don't want my post or my interactions to be drowned out by too large of a group. But what ends up happening is when people start seeing your name and recognizing you, whether it's a local group or whether it's like a common interest group, the friendships start to build organically that way. And once you start becoming friends, whether you feel comfortable or that person that you continue to interact with feels comfortable, the friend requests start coming in. And that's where your branding on your own personal page really comes into key play. I have a lot of team members that have a VIP group and they like to stick to only sharing in their VIP group. But the thing is your VIP group is for people that are already buying from you. So you have to get out of that mind shift focus of you're bugging people or people don't want to see that. It doesn't matter if they want to see it or not. You are building, you are networking, and you are expanding your circle, that you need to make sure that part of your brand on social media, the public part of you on social media, meaning your actual Facebook wall, is sharing Scentsy. And again, I'm talking about sharing Scentsy, not selling it. You don't want to look spammy if somebody sends you a friend request and then you accept it and then they scroll and they just see sale post after sale post after sale post. They're going to be like, oh, nope, unfriend. You want to be sharing, but also sharing part of your life in it. A rule of thumb that I like to tell my team is I say 80-20, but once you really start incorporating Scentsy in all the aspects of your life, it kind of gets hard to keep that ratio there, but go back to your page. And you want to make sure that you have personal stuff in there, whether it's your kids, whether it's date nights, whether it's a new recipe that you tried, a new coffee mug, or whatever it is. Make sure that you're integrating Scentsy in there along with your personal stuff and showing how Scentsy fits into your life. Because once they start getting onto your actual page and then interacting with you, they're going to start seeing your Scentsy posts naturally. And that's when you have that potential new customer or that potential new team member or host that eventually, once they are a customer, then they can go into your VIP group. But you have to keep that main Facebook wall part of your Scentsy story as well, if you're wanting to focus social media. I have a lot of my team members, then they're like, Bridgette, I see your post and I'm posting everything that you're posting. Why am I not growing my Scentsy business? But y'all have to think that I've been doing this since 2013. I've been networking, whether it's in person, whether it's on social media, however you're wanting to work your business. In order to build a business, you have to meet new people. Think of it as like a brick and mortar. If you were to start a new business, yes, of course, your friends and family are going to be the first ones there on your grand launch day to help you start your business. But ultimately, who are the people that are helping keeping the lights on in that business? It's going to be the referrals. It's going to be word of mouth, and it's going to be the new people that you've been able to meet because of your business. Your social media is the same way. You can't sit there and expect your friends and family and your circle that you started when you started Scentsy right here to keep you going with recruits and with promotions and all of that. You have to use that circle, but you have to learn how to grow your circle on social media or in person events or whatnot in order to continue to run a successful business. So you have to step out of your comfort zone. If social media is going to be the way that you are wanting to work your business, you're going to have to grow. You're going to have to get a little bit uncomfortable and have those conversations. But ultimately, if that's where your comfort zone is at, is social media, because you feel like you can be a little bit more you, whether it's personality, whether it's time restrictions, whether, you know, you might have tons of kids or your husband works a difficult schedule or whatever your reasoning is, social media literally puts the world at your fingertips and it's free. That's the other thing, compared to people that are working vendor events that have to put money up front for, you know, the table fee and all of the inventory and all of that. When you're using social media to work your Scentsy business, you can reach so many more people, not just the people that are close and local to you, but you can do it for free. Whether it's the groups that we're talking about, whether it's the Facebook marketplace, as long as you're doing the stuff that's within compliance. And that's probably another reason why I love social media and working my business, is I don't have to worry about budgeting to continue to expand my business. So hopefully that gives you guys some ideas or tricks on how to grow your social media and how to meet new people outside of your friends and family when it comes to social media.
Yes, oh, Theresa's muted. I was just going to ask, that is great. And thank you for sharing your story. I was excited for everyone to hear about it, but do you have a favorite social media platform?
So my go-to right now, probably just because it's the one I've been using the most, is Facebook, but I'm slowly, because I've reached that cap of, because Facebook is mean and limits us to 5,000, I've started to shift over to Instagram. And with Instagram, especially over the past few years, I've really shifted because of all the negativity on Facebook. I've shifted over to Instagram because, one, you're not capped, but also there's so much more of using tags and reels right now. Reels are a great way for you to get your personality and your style and your, you know, your whatever it is out there. And you're really able to build a new following using different aspects, whether it's videos, photos with hashtags, or the reels right now. So experimenting a little bit there.
Okay, love that. And so what about your stories? And I know you mentioned reels, and reels are just really, I mean, at the height of social media, even just for fun, you know, people are utilizing reels, which I love. But how are you utilizing your stories, Facebook or Instagram stories, to find that same balance between, you know, personal life and business?
So stories, a lot of the stuff, like if we're doing specials or sales, I will post it on my Facebook, like the wall, so that people see it and they need to go back. But for the most part, like my day-to-day, to kind of give more of like an insight into my life, because again, probably 90% of my customers and even my team members, I've never met in person. So by using videos or talking or short photos that I want them to feel like they know me, but doesn't really need to be there for like them to see in another week, I'll put that on my stories because it's gone within 24 hours. So whether I'm doing polls and getting interactions or whatnot, but just talking and just sharing some of the dumbest pictures of my dogs and my kids and me, and showing my hot mess self and gym selfies and all of that. That's more so for my stories, because I don't want it there for longer periods of time.
Okay, that makes complete sense. And that's really another powerful tool as well. Some people still aren't using stories, and I'm telling you that you're missing out on, growing your business and also building your revenue, your PRV, and even making those connections as you're sharing your life.
Mm-hmm.
How Scentsy is blessing you, or how you're integrating Scentsy in your life. People are watching those and, and connecting the dots and deciding whether or not they want to do what you do, whether they're commenting or not. I just had someone join my team yesterday, and I was really shocked, but she's been watching my stories, just kind of commenting. And then she was like, I'm ready to join. I was like, I didn't even know you're interested, but yes, come on. So, okay, what questions do you all have here? If you want to ask your questions, we can call on you to unmute. We might actually even finish early tonight, which is not a bad thing either. But if y'all have questions, someone, is it too much to play Scentsy on stories and on my timeline? So someone is asking, is it too much to post Scentsy in your stories and then also, on your newsfeed or your timeline?
I think that's where it goes back to sharing versus selling. For me, like when it's wax change day, I literally record me. I like the boomerang feature. I probably use it too much, but I like sharing and showing that I use these products in my own house. I'm not just trying to share or sell you a product that I've never used or anything like that. So I feel like as long as you're sharing and not selling, and you don't look like it's, poster after flyer after poster after flyer and all the things, and you're just really showing either one, how you work your business during your busy life of doing all the other things, or sharing, it's laundry day, or how to change out wax, tip Tuesdays or mixer Mondays or anything like that. I really don't. I think it's really just having that equal balance, but everybody's life is going to have a different balance, like percentage of what's personal versus Scentsy.
Absolutely. Someone just asked a really good question that it just came through on Messenger. And with the new incentive that is happening right now, brick by brick, we're now on level 3, which is Scentsy Club. I'm really excited about that. How are you utilizing social media to get your club, new club subscribers? I know that you either already have done it or you will do it because you've been so successful.
Mm-hmm. So I have one clubber that just started yesterday. And what I've done is I saw a couple other consultants doing this, and I loved that they were posting in their stories like screenshots of customer orders. But what I've done is I've highlighted, when I saw my previous Scentsy Club orders process, is I'm posting it, I'm sharing it, but I'm pointing out the discount, the Scentsy, the 50% off, or the Scentsy Club discount, and I'm highlighting that in my stories. And then what I did yesterday that actually got me the first person towards the summer incentive was the bricks, and I posted the different bricks that were available and asked them if they could get a brick that was equivalent to 6 bars for cheaper, would they, and which one would they pick. And when they commented which one they would pick, then I was messaging them and letting them know that bricks were exclusive to Scentsy Club, and here's the link to sign up for it. And that one actually got me my first one for the incentive.
Wow, that's amazing. So amazing. And I'm sure you'll get the other 2 as well. So everyone wants that backpack. So if you earn level 3, it doesn't matter if you've earned level 1 or level 2, doesn't matter at all. If you earn level 3, you're going to get is it North Face?
Yeah, North Face backpack.
Okay. Backpack, and it has Scentsy, the Scentsy logo on there as well. So I just think that that's really, really cool. And I can't wait to see a whole bunch of those backpacks with everybody. So another question is, as you're making these connections on social media, how do you bring all of these new contacts together? Like, do you have a VIP group? What is your follow-up system?
So that's probably where my weakness was when I first started. So thank goodness for Amy, because now I do use Amy religiously. My VIP group is strictly for people that are purchasing and that have ordered. I know at first, when I first started my VIP group, I just like threw everybody in there. But what it did was the people that were actually wanting to see it due to Facebook, they weren't seeing it. So I go through and I clean it out every now and then. But my VIP group is for those customers. And when I send out, because a lot of my stuff's online, I send out thank you mail, and I have like a little card. I need to print more off because I just did bulk. But I have a card, and I tell them thank you for, purchasing, and it has a picture of my family. But then I have a link in case they're not already on my social media, a link to my Facebook VIP group, and then also to my Instagram. So I'm trying to build up Instagram rather than Facebook. But that's how I get them in there once they've actually already purchased. And then I let them know, like on my Facebook wall, without giving too much details, as I let them know, hey, VIPs, you know, samples are over my VIP group, or my VIP group just got a sneak peek. So that gets people wanting to be in my VIP group. And because then they're like, okay, well, how do I get in there? You got to make a purchase. And that kind of gets them over there as well.
I love that. I love that. Okay, so another question. This month we have the amazing $25 join special. Some people, I know that there's some people out there that's like, well, we're not earning points for an incentive trip, so why am I going to recruit? How would you respond to that?
My thing is the fall time gets so crazy busy, and we're already kind of overwhelmed with so many sales that, in my opinion, yeah, they might not get that first incentive trip, you know, recruit bonus, or however the point system is going to be. But the summertime is the slow time where you can take the time to work with the new recruits, and you can let them get their systems in place without being too overwhelmed. So that once the fall time comes where it really matters, they have the systems in place. They've already done their launch party. They're starting to get a wing of it, so that once the busy time comes, they're not overwhelmed. You're like, whoa, wait, this is way too much. They're like, I got this. And then a lot of times in my personal history, they'll double and triple promote during the fall because they already have those systems in place.
Oh, that's awesome. Love it, love it, love it. Because what we're doing right now, and this is every May, June, July, what you're doing right now is you're planting seeds for the busiest time of the year, which is the fall season, September, or actually August through, you know, December. And so by building your team now, it's going to help them, obviously, because they get blessed with the opportunity, but also you get to have more people on your team to help contribute to the TWV or your GWV, your group wholesale volume. And usually with the incentives, if you get paid at title, usually you get some points. And so you can hit all these marks, but if you're not getting paid at title, then you might lose some opportunities to earn points for the next incentive trip. So what you do now, today, by sponsoring, taking the time to train them, it's really going to pay off for them and for you and your team in just a couple of months. So definitely leverage this opportunity with the $25 join special. None of us, Bridgette, Dorothy, Emily, none of us have seen a join special this low where you could also earn the Shooting Star kit at zero cost for free. That's just absolutely insane. So back to social media. How do you sponsor on social media, on Instagram and Facebook? How, if you're doing a home party, like you said, you went to a party and they asked you if you wanted to join or if you wanted to host a party. But now that you aren't really interacting face to face, I guess this question is twofold, is how are you marketing the join opportunity? And then secondly, once you find someone that's interested, how do you go about kind of sealing the deal and bringing them on board your successful team?
So it goes back to like the stories and the sharing of how I fit Scentsy into my life, because a lot of the excuses that you'll hear from people is that, I already have a job, or, I'm already busy with sports schedules or whatnot. So I show with my stories and, throughout the photos and videos that I share, how I'm integrating Scentsy and how I can do it, whether we're on vacation or all the things. So I make it look easy. I keep it as simple as I can. I don't want people to think that this is so hard. And I don't know who posts this, and not bashing, but when people are like, oh, I've been up, I had to get up at 2 a.m. to release these pre-orders for my customers. I'm sorry, but that's going to stress some people out. They're like, I am not about to do that. So I like to keep it as simple as I can and be like, look, I am literally in the student pickup line and I'm still able to work my business. Or look, my husband works out of town. I'm able to pick up my laptop and some postcards, and I'm able to work out of a hotel room. I make it look easy. Every now and then, whenever I get a host kit available, then I'll post about it, and every single person, whether they comment or like or interact with it, I reach out to them, message them then, like, hey, I appreciate you reacting to this post. How could this kit, or how could Scentsy, help you in whatever you're dealing with right now? And I really let them tell me how they think it would work, whether, you know, it's for the trips, whether it's for the additional income, whether it's a stay-at-home mom that just has no friends and really wants the social part of it. And then at that point, then I'm able to shift my focus and figure out what direction our conversation needs to go in. Because if you just word vomit all over somebody, they're going to be so like, whoa, wait, nope, not into it. So I really just, it really is based off of who's actually interacting with it. And then for like I said, because a lot of my stuff's online, when somebody sends me a PWS order and I send out that mail, what I've been doing since I went to a leadership retreat in March, maybe. Since I came back, what I do is I was getting bars, but now since it's getting hot, I'm doing scent circles of Be Fabulous, and I'm putting a sticker on it. And it said, I think you would be fabulous on my team. Let me know, or ask me if I have a free kit available. And that has gotten me a couple of them because I have the catch-all party kits. And that's helped a lot right now as well. So
I love that. You know, I try to use some of the fragrances and the names, you know, to kind of send messages to customers, but I've never thought about Be Fabulous. So that's a really good one. I really also love how you said that when you find, you know, connect with someone and see if there's an interest, you ask them, how can Scentsy serve them or, you know, fit in their world, as opposed to oftentimes we just get so excited because we're so passionate about what Scentsy's done for us that we do word vomit and we tell them what Scentsy is going to do or could do for them. And then they're like, oh, wait, you know, so you're keeping it simple, which is part of our core values. And I really love that. So I want to go around to our panelists here and see what questions they might have. So we'll start with Emily Goodknecht in Canada. But before we do that, I want to kind of pause for just a moment. In the chat, if you have a new team member that joined with this $25 join special this month, or even $99, I don't know who's spending $99 to join this month, but if you did, please put it in the comments. I already see that Dennis has a new team member this past week, and we are celebrating Dennis. That is so exciting. And Jennifer Maher actually has a new one. I love what Donna Bodyfelt said. She said, not yet, and she put yet in capital letters. She says, I'm working on it. And when Donna says that, she really is. She means it. It's going to happen. Who else do we have? Rick Dixon said, I did have one. Where did his message go? Rick, did you get one or you're getting one? Oh, I did. And he is on the call tonight. What? Congratulations and welcome, Ralph. How exciting. Oh my gosh, Lacey has 4 so far. This is Amanda Morgan. I'm with you, Donna. None yet, but it's happening. Dorothy Sanchez said, congratulations, everyone. I don't know if I missed anyone, but we just want to say congratulations. Who else? I want to make sure. Ethel said yay, and Miriam has one. Congratulations to you, Miriam. So continue having those conversations, continue sharing like Bridgette is, you know, all the tips that she's giving us can really help you with growing your team. This month is very unique. Normally when we have a $20 or a $25 join special, like the floodgates are open, everyone's just knocking down the doors, but we're in a different world right now. Weird things are happening. We are encountering inflation, but here's the beauty of it. We're not focusing on that. I love Amanda Morgan and her team, Star Director of Team Dream It, Wish It, Do It. They're not focusing on what's not happening. They're focusing on what is happening, what's going to happen, and what's to come. And that's what we're going to do too. It might look differently, but just like Rick and gosh, it looks like the guys are kind of leading the pack here, but Dennis, everyone that's recruiting this month, they're showing us that it's absolutely possible. There are people out there that do want the community, do want the extra income. It's just a matter of us finding out who those individuals are and planting those seeds. So just want to say congratulations to everyone on that. Keep your mindset in check, you know, and stay positive and train your brain. If you want a new recruit this month, every day that you get up, say, I'm going to have a new team member this month. It's just going to speak it into existence and then do the work behind it. Now let's go to Canada. Emily Goodknecht, what questions do you have?
Hello, Bridgette. Thanks for chatting with us tonight. So good to see your face. Okay, so just to add to the whole sponsoring thing, it's always nice when we bring a join special up, because although there's always a join special with our host exclusive starter kit, sometimes that join special gives us that boost of confidence or a talking point that maybe we weren't comfortable approaching. But just remember that even with the $25 kit, if someone says, you know, hey, now's not the right time, make a list, keep it handy so that, you know, in a month, maybe when we do get closer to the fall, when things are busier, we find out where the incentive trip is taking us. You can follow up with that person and say, hey, I just found out where Scentsy's taking us next summer for the next incentive trip, and I want you to come with me. And then say, how do you feel about, you know, earning your business by hosting a party? Now, granted, it would be great if they join now because they can get that enhancement kit at no cost. But even then, you know, just again, keep planting those seeds, as Theresa mentioned, so that you always have a running list. It should never be dry. So yeah, as far as the social media marketing, and I'm not going to call anybody out, but I can already tell in my head the people that I know who are probably thinking, yeah, that's so great that you know, you find all these people in the different groups and you connect, but how do you transition them from simply followers and connections and translate them into actual buying customers? Do you approach them? Do you let them just watch your stuff and, you know, hopefully, you know, wish and pray that they come to you? How do you make that? How do you turn them over?
For me, it's really about, and my husband gets so mad at me. He's like, what are you doing? You're just scrolling Facebook. You're not working. I'm like, no, I really am, because I'm intentional. When I get team members that are not like my personal sponsor, I unfollow them. I don't unfriend them because I want them to still see my stuff, but I unfollow them because I want my timeline to be full of customers. And I will sit there, whether I'm in the car, whether I'm at home watching a TV or whatnot. And I'm not just going through and just like liking their stuff. I'm going through and I'm making it a point to be commenting and interacting with them, to where once they start, the more I interact with them, the more that my stuff's going to show up for them. And like I said, I know some people like to be very, very private, and I understand with social media and, you know, having those limitations, but ultimately to build those relationships, to make them feel like they know you have to share some of your personal life on there. For me, I have so many people that have never met me or even my kids, but when I post that it's my daughter's birthday, there's so many people that congratulate them or posting about the last day of school and stuff, because they've literally watched my kids grow up online. So I understand that's not for everybody, but I try to be as personable and share all of my life, the good, the bad, the ugly, the hot mess, all the things, so that they can relate to me. They can feel like they know me at a real level, and making sure that I'm interacting with their posts and stuff the way that I want them to be interacting with mine.
And are you finding that the majority of those people are reaching out to you on their own, curious about Scentsy, or are you saying, hey, have you ever heard of Scentsy? Can I send you something? Like, where is that starting?
I never do that weird, creepy, hey girl, glad you accepted my friend request, anything like that. That's the quickest way to get unfriended. But what I like to do, especially during the joint special, is I do the golden tickets, and I've been doing this for a couple years. I try to do the 10 possibility packets, the 50 samples and 10 possibility packets. And I'll post if I haven't gotten a recruit, I'll post 10 of the little bubble mailers, golden ones. And I'll say, this is a golden ticket to, you know, a new life or whatever. And ultimately all it is a possibility packet. But because it's on there, a lot of times I get all 10 people to claim them. And again, because the interaction's already there, they're seeing that. And so it's good. It's giving the curiosity cat just a little bit more of a nugget for them. But I never cold message. I don't reach out like that, just because that's not me. And for long-term wise, and because so many other direct sale companies encourage that, I steer away from that as hard as I can. And I let them reach out to me. I really do. I know that I probably could do more, but the last thing I want to do is, it took a lot of work to get them on my Facebook page. The last thing I want to do is push them away from my page.
Absolutely. Yeah. We teach a lot here. People do business with people they know, like, and trust. So there has to be some time. They have to see you're a real person. They have to see that you have family, you have interests, that you're not a Scentsy robot. You don't just live to sell Scentsy, and that it's not an infomercial, right? I mean, if you want to, think of your Facebook profile like a highlight reel of your life, right? You get to completely curate what people see and in terms of your online presence. So what kind of story do you want to portray? And if all it is a bunch of Scentsy ads, they're like, oh my goodness, she is a hustler. And then, I mean, whether that's good or bad, that might attract some people, but like you said, it's not authentic. It just shows that you're just trying to make sales. And again, it doesn't, people are like, I don't know, like this person just sells a bunch of stuff, right?
Exactly.
So yeah, I absolutely agree with that. Now I'll tell a quick story about something similar. So I have a Saint Bernard. Those of you who know me know that I love big dogs. And so she's my second one. And I'm part of a group, and I love my Saint Bernard or something. It's got like 50,000 people in it. So maybe a little bit bigger than maybe what Bridgette's trying to aim for. But even then, I got in there. I actually, I'd seen a lady post about how her Saint Bernard passed away. And I could empathize because my first Saint Bernard died when we lived in Texas. And it was really, really hard on me. Like I still sometimes find myself getting that grief never really goes away. So when I saw that her dog passed away, I of course commented, but then I reached out to her in message and I just said, I've been thinking about getting another Saint Bernard. I'm really struggling with it. How do you cope? Or, and I just told her, I'm sorry for the loss of your dog. And we just had a really genuine conversation, and I left it at that. It wasn't about, selling or anything, but then as she replied and we had, we opened up, shared a little bit, I don't remember if it was me or her, but one of us said, yeah, let's stay connected. And can I add you as a friend or whatever? She's like, oh yeah, sure. So we got connected. And I, like you, I never talked to her about Scentsy, but at one point, so I tend to use my personal page for a lot of my life stuff, with the odd Scentsy post worked in, if we're going to, on a trip or something like that with Scentsy. And then in my stories, I do a lot of sharing, like how I use Scentsy. Well, so I love the wall fans, because with Brandy being so big in the hallways, there's absolutely no way I'm going to put a mini warmer in my hallway, because she's going to bump it and splash wax everywhere. So one day I was posting about how I was changing the pods in my mini fan diffuser, and how I like it because it's plastic, it's durable, and with big dogs and kids, the last thing you want is a mess. So I was showing how I did this, and next thing you know, like the next day, she must have seen my stories. Well, I know she did, but she went to my website and I saw an order from that customer, and she'd never ordered before. Like I had never, ever talked to her about Scentsy. And I'm like, what? And so I messaged her. I'm like, girl, you placed an order with my, on my website. What's up with that? And she said, oh yeah, I saw your stories. Like I had no idea Scentsy had wall fan diffusers. That's so cool. She's like, I absolutely need that for my dogs too. You already know. And I'm like, I do already know. You'll have to let me know what you think. And as far as I know, she loves them. I followed up with her. She got it. She goes, yeah, I love it. So I'm actually thinking about reaching out to her and seeing if I can kind of convince her to join club, because the pods, as you know, are consumable and she's going to need to buy more. So just a story about how it works. But again, be authentic, make real relationships. Don't go, I mean, it's easy to kind of think, okay, how can I grow my business? But you have to be real, because if you're just in the mindset, oh, I'm only doing this, I'm only joining these groups so that I can get customers, that's going to be obvious once these people join your page anyway, and they're going to delete you so fast, like Bridgette said. So just focus on the things that already interest you, because you'll have lots of things to talk about besides Scentsy.
So that's really good, really, really, really good information. One of the things from listening to you and Bridgette is it just reminds me that we are in the network marketing industry. And I think sometimes we are so family oriented in the world of Scentsy. We're having so much fun that we forget that we are in the network marketing industry. And so, the key really is networking. Sometimes you hear people say, nobody wants to party, nobody wants to join. No, it's the same 10 people that you're talking to month after month after month. They don't want to right now. They don't want to party right now. They don't want to join right now. So you've got to increase and grow your networking. And I also was kind of laughing to myself because there's somebody that's watching right now that's like, I'm going to go join a dog group. I'm going to message them and tell them that their dog is cute. And then I'm going to check my PWS. Y'all, that's not how this works. That's not how this works. If you listen to the heart of what Bridgette is saying, if you listen to what Emily is saying, is that they love this business and they are genuinely networking. They're not just going out like in a firefighters group. They're going into groups that they are really passionate about, St. Bernard's or the oil field or whatever that looks like. It's something that means something to them way outside of Scentsy. And then through that, you're building relationships and you're networking and you're building trust. So I love that you said that. I'm going to go ahead and kind of pivot and move over to, oh gosh, we've got Kelly is at a wedding. So Debbie Pitts Palmer, we're going to ask her a question. But before I do that, if you can, I want to go back to the chat real quick because Emily brought up the club. If you have had any new club members join this month, I don't care if they joined and they have a $30 subscription, that's winning. I don't care if it's $50, $60. If you've had anyone join the club this month, please put it in the chat. And then Dorothy, if you don't mind just kind of shouting out some of these names here of anyone that has a new club member this month. You have to have 3 new club members that join and they have to have at least, I think $60 in their club. Is it 60? Yeah, 60 because of the 10% discount. So just y'all 60. Did anyone join the club?
Yes. So it looks like, yes, Tony has 1 new club. Andrea had 2 join. Bethany says she's had 2 people. Anne Marie says she has 1. Melissa, Emily, Goodknecht. She has 4 telling her they're going to plan to do it later this month. That is awesome. Karen got 1 because of bricks. Let's see, Lacey and Dottie each got 1. And Rhonda says not yet, but she's working on it. And the same with me.
Excellent. And I have 2, but one of them was at like $45. And I'm like, oh, you know, but anyway, Andrea also has 1. 1 happened to be her mama. So, you know, our family likes to support our businesses too. So that's great that she got her mom to join as well. Debbie Pitts Palmer has 2 less than $40. And let me tell you, even if it's less than $60, the threshold for this incentive, you're still winning because you're learning how to have these club conversations that, including myself, maybe we weren't doing it as much, and you're building PRV, you know, for months down the road as well. So way to go, everyone. All right, let's go ahead and hop over to Debbie Pitts Palmer. Debbie, as I was listening to Bridgette, I know that you do a lot of the things that she's doing as far as networking and being in, you know, groups that you're passionate about and making those connections. So what questions do you have for Bridgette?
Hi, Bridgette. Thank you, girl. I follow you a lot. I noticed here, I was looking at her page and I noticed that she has 8,000 followers. So how long did it take you to have that many people following you? I know your page is open to the public also.
Yeah, it's open. What it is I recently transitioned over to Creator or something like that, to where it turned all of my my current friends plus the people that I haven't accepted friend requests from. So that's where the 8,000 comes from. But I think I started my Facebook page, and here's the thing. I used to have 2 profiles because I used to be afraid to share personal with Scentsy. But when I went through my divorce a couple years ago, I got rid of my personal one and stuck to the Scentsy one. So I would say probably at least 5 to 6 years it's taken me to get to that many followers.
So, okay, you got that many followers. So these followers that you gained these followers from how exactly? I know you said you were in groups, and that's a lot of followers. I'm just kind of curious about how did that happen? I mean, how did that happen?
A lot of it was just organically. I think probably a good, a couple of thousand of them were probably Scentsy consultants that have friend requested me. But before, I would say probably 4, maybe 5 years ago, before direct sales really got involved in social media and people, kind of started about direct sales, I remember going into some of those groups that I was in, and I would make a post of introduce yourself on this post, where, especially the oil field ones, list where you're from. And if you see somebody close to you, send them a friend request. Or if somebody likes your name, send a friend request to everybody that likes your name, or, you know, introduce yourself. And if you like that person, you think that you guys could be friends, like them. Like, I can't remember the wording of it, but I remember doing that in a couple different groups, and whoever would like my name or my post, and then I would go and send them a friend request. So then it was knowing that it was going to be invited and accepted. But really, that's the main thing, is it wasn't just one quick certain task or, you know, idea that I did. It really came over time to build up that many people. And again, just being in those groups, being active in those groups, vocal, and not being spammy. That's the biggest thing that I can see, because I get into some of these groups, and yes, there's like a set day to advertise. And don't get me wrong, the local mom group, I still do that for like teacher gifts or whatnot. But for the most part, it's me going in there and people getting to know me and wanting to be friends on Facebook.
Okay, I noticed you have over 8,000 followers, but how many friends do you have?
The friend total is like 4,700 or something like that. And that's why I transitioned over to the creator one, so that it would still allow friend requests and stuff to come in.
Okay, so how many people do you have in your VIP group?
My VIP group, I only have like 200 in my VIP group. And those are straight customers only that are in there.
Okay, okay, let me ask you this question, because I know new customers, because of the fact that you're like almost reached your peak with friends.
Mm-hmm.
So as you gain new customers, how are you getting them into your VIP group?
I'll send them the invite, but for people to go into my VIP group, they have to accept the invite. Or when I'm mailing out the thank you letters or whatnot, I include the QR code, and they can scan and they can request to join the group as well.
Do you use Amy follow-up? What follow-up system do you use to get them over there to the VIP group?
Yeah, I use Amy, but for the most part, it's me sending them a friend or a VIP group invite once they've actually purchased something.
Okay, I love that. One more thing I want to ask. I'm looking at your page. Mm-hmm. I noticed that right away. I know how passionate you are about faith, family, and food. Mm-hmm. I see that. So that's interesting to me. So what you're doing, your page is inviting. Mm-hmm. So you try to keep it inviting, right? Mm-hmm. I see that you're holding a wax life cup in your hand. That's inviting. And I see a picture of you and your daughter. Mm-hmm. So you're sharing your life on social media. And that's why I follow you. I even see your fingernails.
Yeah.
So those are things that I like to do as well, but I see that you do, and that's why I follow you, because I get ideas from you. But yeah, I love that. I just want to say thank you so much for sharing all these things, even a Scentsy cup, all the things. I mean, you and your husband there. Yeah, I see that. That's pretty inviting. Then you throw some Scentsy stuff out there.
Yeah.
You can check off that box. Have you ever saw a Facebook stalker like talk to you in real time? Usually people creep, but you don't get the opportunity to watch them and talk to them, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Even a cup, part of your world, you know, that's what I look for, something like that, you know, because so many scammers are out there. Your page is real and authentic. Yep. And that's what make people come to you for that reason.
That's true.
You're a real person.
Well, we are at the top of the hour. It's been a really awesome night. I don't know about the rest of you. I'm sure y'all are in the same boat. I've learned a lot. And I even saw a comment from Dennis saying, you know what? When I look at my Facebook profile, I think I'm kind of spammy and I need to change that. And that's okay. You know, no one has to, you don't have to put yourself down or anything like that. But we love to have action items at the end of every, Tuesday Dreamstruck. And so one of the action items that we do want to encourage you to do is pause for a moment, take a look at your Instagram, take a look at your stories, your Facebook, whatever social media platform you're on, and look at it from the outside looking in. Does it look like this person just wants to sell, or does it look like it's an inviting page? Does it look depressing? Are they fighting with their spouse? Like, what's going on in your world of social media? Take a glance, and if there's something that you feel like you need to kind of clean up, because maybe that's why people aren't joining you. If you wake up every day with the Eeyore syndrome, then people, they want to kind of navigate and maybe join a different team. So, and you may not have 8,000, followers, but the point of it is, it's not the number, 80,000, 8,800. It's, are you growing? Are you growing? Because a lot of people join Scentsy, they hit sensational start, shooting star, and then they come to a abrupt halt because they've kind of maximized their current circle. That circle always needs to be growing somehow, some way. Okay. So with that being said, Dorothy, thank you for inviting Bridgette on. And Bridgette, thank you for taking an hour out of your time tonight away from your family and away from your 8,000 followers to pour into us. Yeah, you're amazing. And we just got a glimpse as to why tonight. So thank you.
You're welcome. Thanks, y'all.
Oh, you're welcome. Y'all have a good night, and we'll see you next week on Dreamstruck.
Have a good night,
Good
everybody.
night.
Good night.
Good night. Thank you, Bridgette. Thank you,